Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here with another review, recap / discussion for what? Queen Sugar. Listen, I can't stand the rain against my window. I can't stand the rain against my window. I can't stand the rain. Ficky, 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 ficky. I can't stand the rain. Listen, this episode was all about the storm, right? Listen. Welcome if you're new to my channel. I am so glad that you are here for this particular unpacking, because this is what I do. Okay? This is what I do. Ava was giving us crumbs. She said, here's a few pieces. Let's see if you can make a meal. Well, I ate good. I ate real good. Okay? New to my channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I would love to have you as a member of my tribe. Don't forget the notification bell. If you go through my repertoire, you'll see I don't post a whole lot, but you always want to be on standby, on ready, because you never know when your girl may drop a video. Okay? Just be on the ready. If you stay ready, huh? You see what now? Exactly. You ain't got to get ready, right? Okay, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, because that's like saying, hey, Miss Honey. And don't forget to comment down below. Y'all know we go back and forth. We be 2-3 weeks in this thing, still talking about this thing, still chewing on this thing, okay? Listen, there is a saying that goes like this. This is the calm before the storm. But it's a very good saying. It just means that everything kind of seems like it's gravy right before all hell breaks loose, right? I can't really apply that to this episode. I can't really apply that to the type of raining that is going on, the type of storming that is going on in St. Joe's Parish, in all of New Orleans, okay? Because we really haven't had a lot of calm, okay? Which makes me believe that we've always been in the storm. Maybe we have been a little closer to the eye, where it is quiet, where it is still, but there's still been storm going on. We've lost the mill. Aunt Vi's been vandalized. We've had Jimmy Dale coming around here pooping all up and through what Hollywood has built with Aunt Vi. We've had Ralph Angel start a project with the intent to help ex-convicts re-enter the world, re-enter society, but that was torn all asunder. Benny was hauled off. Ignacio has been deported, taken off by ICE. Okay, we thought we had something going on with Romero, but Romero looked like he out. Romero discovered that Charley was the farmer, the owner of the farm where the 2 men were killed a couple of 2-3 years ago, and he out. Okay, he is out. He is gone. And of course, we've had this tell-all book that Nova has put out. Now, we see this episode that Nova could have been writing about a whole host of things that would have actually helped the family. She could have been researching and exposing the Boudreaux, okay, the Landrys, okay, and what actually happened in St. Joe Parish on that land. She could have been writing a book out about that, and that would have bust the Boudreaux. Everybody's read the book. Everybody from hither to thither to yon has read the doggone book. If Nova had wrote a tell-all book about the Boudreaux and the Landrys, stands to reason everybody would have read that too. But again, these are the things that have been going on, and they are anything but calm. There has been no calm. So what we're seeing now is maybe Everybody is starting to move out into the wind and into the rain of this thing. But we still got to keep living. We still got to keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep forging ahead. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Micah getting ready to go to the prom. And when I tell you, him and Keke look, whoo, if they don't look Wakanda clean, okay, that pink dress on Keke, the way she has got her hair all swoop. Y'all know I love a good swoop and pin, baby, and pop out you some tendrils. Oh, give me some kinky tendrils. Yes. She is winning. She got some little boop, doop, 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 little stardust in her hair. She's got a little stardust sprinkled all over in her hair. Little look like little stars all over her hair. It's beautiful. She looks beautiful. Makeup on point. Micah, when I tell you Micah's a good looking man. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. Micah giving me old Smokey Robinson early days. You know what I'm saying? He give me a little Common. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know when Common jumps sharp. I'm talking about sharp. Okay, hair braided down. He got them twists and he got it cut on the side. Well, he got that twist woven and sculpted into this beautiful kinky mound that's going back in the back, almost like a war helmet, that shield that you get on a war helmet. He's got it going to the back, and baby, he got a suit, baby, that's fitting like kick. Okay, I'm talking about he clean, baby, clean. Whistle stop, baby, razor sharp, okay, scalpel sharp, all right. If he slip and fall, he'll cut himself, okay. Micah look good. He got on a dark jacket, but it's got flecks of pink, starlight in it, little pops of bling. Oh, they're a beautiful couple, absolutely gorgeous. Everybody is there except Davis and Ralph Angel. Well, Ralph Angel over there with the sick and shut in. Okay, but where is Davis? Where is your daddy? Where is your daddy? Let's not pick at that scab. Everybody there, including Nova and Aunt Vi and Hollywood, okay? And they celebrating the kids, the prom, going off, they, toasting. Keke got into Tulane. Micah got into Harvard. Everybody is proud. Keke going to Tulane on a digital art scholarship. Okay. Micah full on into Harvard. Weird. Never heard him talk about Harvard. Never really heard him talk about college at all, except a couple of episodes ago when Keke mentioned them having sex. It's odd, but we're not going to pick at that scab, right? Okay, let's move forward. So Micah's let them know that he is going to meet up with his friends, his activism friends down at the hotel, and they're going to get together, mix and mingle a little bit, and then they're going to all head over to the prom. All right. Nova gives a great speech about them. And she goes on to talk and, just, what do they call it? Wax poetical about growing up and becoming adults and going out into the world and forging your own way. And Aunt Vi was like, oh, okay, that's enough talk about forging ways and digging in roots and all this other stuff. We've had quite enough of that around here. So now, even though they all together, Aunt Vi letting Nova know, no, baby. Now, Charley forgives you, but darling, I don't have nothing for you. I don't have nothing to give you right now. And when I do, I'll let you know. Until then, don't call me. I'll call you. All right. And of course, before they leave out, Hollywood goes over. Y'all know Hollywood. That is my man. That is my ideal man. I love a man who is all about taking care of, who is thoughtful, who is family oriented, who is family centered. He goes up and talks to Micah. I hear you get in a hotel room, and Micah was like, well, yeah, I just he was like, listen, young blood. All I'm gonna say to you is be responsible. Be responsible. It's a moment. It's a moment. It's a moment worth talking about. It's a moment worth reflecting on, and it is a moment where we can see Hollywood. This is why we love him. This is why we love Hollywood, right? Okay, so later on, after the kids have gone, now the whole time they getting ready to get the kids out the door for the prom, Jacob Boudreaux is calling Charley. And when they finally sit down after the kids leave, and she gets to talking about she's got so much going on her plate, she's got this town hall meeting where she's going to be going head to head up against Jacob Boudreaux, and she just does not know how it's going to turn out. The polls are really close right now. She's just got to get her head in the game. Meanwhile, Aunt Vi was like, we got to get home. We got to get home. I'm out, because Nova's about to start talking, and she ain't here to be sitting there. She ain't with sitting there listening to Nova go on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? No, we ain't friends. Okay, so you got the keys to the restaurant. Let yourself in. We've got it all set up. You're gonna be good. Okay, her and Hollywood leave. Well, Charley and Nova head over to Aunt Vi's, okay, to check the place out and do some practice. Speech practice, right? That's fine. So we see where when Charley and Nova get over to Aunt Vi's, she's practicing, and Nova's helping her. Nova's reminding her, don't forget the people in the outskirts of the conversation. Don't forget to project. Don't forget to bring up these points. And Charley is rehearsing, and it just doesn't seem like Charley. Charley is always very eloquent. Charley is always very pulled together. She's clearly nervous. I don't know if Nova is adding to that nervousness, or everything that has happened, which was meant to take her off her game. It looks like it really kind of worked, right? She's going over her parts again. And just regurgitating it, and Nova changes the scenario. She becomes one of those voices that may project out of the audience. Why should we vote for you? Jacob Boudreaux was born here. He was born and raised here. You're an uppity outsider coming in. And she's like, no, I just don't. No, Charley. What I'm trying to let you see is that things will be said. Things will come out. And Charlie's like, my life is an open book now. Everybody knows. She was like, yeah, but everybody don't know about them. They know about your business, and that can still be used against you. But what about their business? And she was like, I just don't. Well, Nova pulls out a book. Apparently, while she was out on her book tour, she discovered some things, and she has put it together in what looks like a picture book. And it says, she's calling it a lineage book or a legacy book or something like that. And it says Nova Bordelon on the front of it, right? So, Charley looks in it, and she's taken aback. Well, at the same time, Nova gets a call. A text from Calvin. Calvin is on his way over to celebrate her birthday. Now, he's a little bit late, but better late than never. She lights up. Charley notices that she lights up, and Charley encourages her to go home. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing more exciting than when your man is coming over. I know how Nova feels. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like that feeling when you know your man coming home. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just get yourself together. You get everything tight and right and smelling good and just citrus fresh. Nova take her up on it. She get up and get on out of there and skedaddle, right? So Charley keeps going on, and with her rehearsing, she thinks that she can do a little bit better by herself, and she goes on and just continues to go over her parts. In comes Jacob Boudreaux. He's coming in the door with an umbrella. And she want to know what he doing here. What do you mean, what am I doing here, Charley? I came here to say, you're the competition. Competition? You really think we're competition? I have been told that it is a shoe-in. It is a done deal. I will be on the city council. So I'm not really sure why you doing all of this. Why you even going through all this. You need to just put all of this to the side. He's once again trying to reason with her that she's in over her head. She's in too deep. Well, first Charley called him arrogant when he went on about how he was a shoo-in, guaranteed to win. She calls him arrogant. And he said it's not arrogance, it's power. I was like, ooh, that, oh wow, yeah. It's not arrogance, it's power. We call it arrogance, but they call it power. If they think of it as having power and not being arrogant, that says a lot in terms of why people of that ilk tend to move the way that they move. They feel that they are powerful, all-knowing, and they are in charge somehow. And this is no different with the Landrys. It was just so poignant to hear him say it's not arrogance. It totally is arrogance. It's power. Okay? It is the perception of power. The perception of having something or being something or embodying something that's bigger than everyone else. This is the Boudreaux Landry power. Whatever you did to my mama, she taking it personal. And Charlie's like, personal? Personal? Are you kidding me? It has been nothing but personal. Nothing but personal. And he is like, Charley, come on. I know me. I know my family. I know how I was raised. She was like, oh, you know how you was raised? And she pulled the phone out. And she pulled a recording up of her mama talking about pressing all the impurities out of sugar cane until it's white as snow the way it should be. Okay? And how she called Charley an upstart mulatto gal. And he put his head down and he acted like it was the worst thing he had ever heard. I was like, can't be. It can't be the worst thing you ever heard, Jacob, because you done sat around the dinner table with a bunch of vipers, pythons, okay, cobras, huh? Yeah, water moccasins. You've sat around the table with them. I'm almost sure you've heard worse. This, if not worse. Your mama don't really seem like the kind of person that's walking around the house tiptoeing around your feelings. Now, so you must be more offended at the fact that it's being said by your mother about Charley. And maybe it's because you got some feelings for Charley. I don't know. I'm just saying, hearing your mama talk with such vitriol out of her mouth cannot be that big of a surprise. So after he hears this recording, what can I do? I don't, how can I, and she was like, well, you've got to say something. You got to speak up. I can't. You got to quit the race. I can't quit the race. I can't just quit. Maybe I can throw the race. Maybe I can make myself so undesirable to be voted on that I'll lose anyway. Well, I mean, that did not work for certain people who sit over on Pennsylvania Avenue now. I mean, we knew some of the most vilest things about that individual, but they still ended up being elected the leader of the free world. She said, no, I can do you one better. So she pulled out the book that Nova gave her. And at that time, I was like, come on, Charley, what you doing? What you doing, Charley? What you doing? You don't tip your hand, girl. At the same time, I trust Charley. Charley's a smart girl. And while I do want Charley and the rest of the borderlines to get bats and bricks and 2x4s and crowbars and go over there and, you know what I'm saying, exact justice. I'm talking about Micah, Keke, the activisms, kids, Lady Genevieve, Prosper, the farmers. I want everybody to go over there with sticks and whips and chains, baby, and just brawl out like her daddy did. Just take them within an inch of glory, right? While I do want that, I realize that that is not possible. They all have different lives and different things in their lives to lose. So I'm gonna go with Charley on this. At the same time, there's a side of me that's like, when are the borderlines gonna get it? Every time you are met with a fist, and I know it's biblical, I know it sort of feeds into the things that Martin Luther King taught and talked about, and that is meeting violence with love and that type of thing. But it just always seems like they find a way to go easy on the Boudreaux. She's really giving him this benefit of the doubt that I don't think he deserves. One, because remember when she went over and she told him about how she knew about old world energy. Y'all remember how he stood up and snarled at her and told her, don't think I'm gonna let this slide. Do you think I'm gonna let you get away with this? Now you over here acting like you want her to show you how you can be a better white person, because your mama is the worst white person ever. But okay, Charlie, let's do this. So she's got an idea, and we see that idea come full fruition. Now, I had a lot of problems with this scene. One, because Charlie went to walk out the door and walk off from Jacob Boudreaux, but you leaving him in your aunt's cafe. Who locking up Charlie? No, you see this ninja out. You ask him to get out in the rain. It started raining. She act like they both got to stay there. No, put him out. He got to find a way to get home safely. You're not in charge of that, but you can't stay here. I don't care where you go, but you can't stay here. You can go out there and stand up under the leaf if you want to, but you can't stay here. Anyway, that's how all this conversation came about. They stuck in the cafe, Aunt Vi's, Prize Pies, and Dinah Cafe, in the rain, and this is the idea that is birthed out of that. But that's fine. Let's move on. Now we're going to talk about Nova. Nova left and went round to the house and got herself together, baby. She had some incense in the air. She was wafting it. She had candles lit, baby. She had put on old little sleek number. You could tell she didn't have no bra underneath it, and I suspect she didn't have no pantaloons under there either, baby. At the end of the night, she got threw up on that counter, and it didn't really look like she was struggling with no panties, but I digress. Calvin come in, he got balloons and he got a gift. He got a beautiful necklace for her. He has made reservations, and that is when the storm cracks, okay? And it starts pouring and thundering, and maybe we shouldn't go out tonight. I'll cook, Nova says, and he says, no, it's your birthday, it's your treat, I'm gonna cook for you. So he puts a dish in the oven, and they get to talking, and she's making a light salad, and they both love it. It's this moment. We've never really been able to be this way together, because before, when she was all hot and heavy into him, of course, he was married, right, with children, okay? So he was really coming through after his shift, before his shift, you know what I'm saying, on lunch break. Okay, so this moment where they're in the kitchen cooking together and music is playing and they kind of looking at each other, you know, kind of subtly and sweetly, and it's just lovely. It feels right. It feels good. And this is what Calvin really wants. Well, when they sit down to dinner, they realize that Nova says, I want to do this again. Let's do this next weekend. He can't do it next weekend because he's got his kids next weekend, and it's not quite time yet for them to meet. They darker, beautiful, honey dipped stepmother. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need a baby stepping them into that, right? Well, what about the weekend after that? I'm going to Atlanta for a symposium. Oh, okay. All right. When you going to see Dr. Feelgood? You sure been going back and forth to Atlanta a lot. Now, you went around there and saw Octopussy. You had Octopussy with you. Dr. Octavia with you when you went around to Atlanta the last time. Who you gonna have with you this time? Nobody? Oh, okay. Let's see now, because you seem like you all hot and heavy. And so then the weekend after that, he's got his kids for a 2-week vacation because he's taking them camping. He's very excited about it. So she was like, okay, so that's another 4 or 5 weeks. We won't be able to see each other. You know, and they come to this point where they realize you can have all of the unicorn tears that you want. That does not make your ish magical, okay? You can spray it down, okay, with leprechaun pee. but that does not make it magical. All right, this thing gonna take some work. All right, so the storm is cracking fantastic. It is pouring outside, and she's not sure and he's not sure, but let's try. Let's do this. Let's make it work. They end up making sweet, sweet love, and he decides her second and best gift is gonna be him moving to St. Joe or to New Orleans. I'm not sure if he's in another state or another city, because what I'm learning is that they're still in New Orleans, but they are in sort of what we call counties. They call parishes. I'm just trying to, you know, put it all together. So she lives in St. Joe Parish. He's gonna move to New Orleans, where they can be closer and they can spend more time together. Okay. All right, this may work. All right, that's Nova. Let's talk about Micah and Vi. Okay, so Micah and Keke get round there to the hotel, and everybody is there. All the activism kids are there. Everybody except Ant. Now, Ant is out of jail right now, but he just don't want to spend his first weekend or so out of jail, you know, in the spotlight, in the limelight. And I got a sinking feeling when they said that. I got a small sinking feeling, and I'll tell you why. It just kind of reminded me of the Browder case, where he had spent all that time in jail, having all these unspeakable things happen, and then when he did come out, he was just not ever the same again, and ended up hurting himself fatally. And just for a split second, I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it positive, right? So they get to talking, and they got a little drink there too. The young lady, activism young lady that's always with them, she had a beautiful African garb pantsuit on, and all of the kids looked really, really good. But Micah and Keke, baby, they looked Wakanda fresh. All right, so they end up you know, the guys end up ribbing on Micah, because they say, you know, my name is Malik and your name is Micah. Micah, Malik, they was kind of confused, and turns out that somebody named Micah rented the penthouse suite, real plush, real lush, which I'll get into. And Keke looked uncomfortable, and Micah was like, no, I wasn't sure if you were gonna get this room, so in case, I just got that room. And it was just like, no, everybody knows. Everybody knows, and now Keke knows that everybody knows. You want to do it, you just don't want everybody to know that you're doing it, right? Okay, so later on we see where Keke is sitting kind of quiet, and she, you know, this isn't just going exactly the way she wanted it to go. I think she wanted it to be a little bit more romantical and magical, maybe like Fantasia, the Cinderella story. I don't know. But Micah senses her discomfort, and, you know, he asked her to dance. And they put on the song by her. I forget the name of it, but anyway, they put that song on. It's a beautiful song. Let's dance. I was like, ooh, when they got up and got together, those two skin tones, those two beautiful children. Keke was so flawless, baby, and Micah seemed so the way that suit is cut, he seemed almost like Superman. I mean, he seemed taller and stronger, and he held her close, and she had her hands right up there on his chest, and he was right in her ear, and he was telling her that he was sorry. He said, you know, you mentioned it. I just wanted to be prepared. I just wanted to be ready just in case. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Like, I didn't get the room to put you in this position where you feel like you have to. He's saying all this, but he's saying it very, you know, whispering it in her ear. This is how he is comforting her. He is giving her his still small voice, baby. Okay, and she pushes back and she says, I know it's not that. I really wanted to. That's why I got on birth control 6 months ago. She said, but I just don't know if this is now, if it should be now, if this is right. Like, I always wanted to be in this place with you, but I just don't know if this is the right place and time for us to level up like that. You know, and he was like, I don't know either. Like, I'm not too sure either. How and when will we know? And they go to kiss. Baby, that song is playing. I was like, oh, Ooh. Oh, y'all be strong. Y'all be strong. Please be strong, right? Knock at the door. Malik and the other one done went out to check the roads. Well, the roads are bad. They don't know how, if they win, they're going to be able to leave and make it out to the prom at the same time everybody's phone go off. Okay, it's an alert from the school letting them know that the venue they was having prom at flooded. So they canceling the prom. This is what it is. Kids sit around, they ain't got nothing else to do. They decide to tell where they gonna be in 5 to 10 years. Everybody's got a plan. That plan sort of plays into some of the things they do now or like to do now. Some of the things that they going to college for. Law, and one guy wanted to be a promoter. I think Malik wanted to be in law. The young lady wants to be in medicine. She wants to open up a clinic to help people who have huge medical bills and can't afford to go by regular means. And Keke wants to travel the world, showing her art, having art shows, having, really meaningful moments where her art has impact on everyone who sees it. She's super excited about that. They get to Micah. Micah's not quite sure what it is he wants to do. He likes photography. He's into photography, but he doesn't know if this is, if that's what it is. Like, I'm like, you've been to Paris all summer. You've been reading. You've been studying at the School of Nova, and you don't realize you need to be doing some Sean King type, Colin Kaepernick type philanthropy, right? Okay, you got into Harvard. Now what? I'm not even sure if Michael want to go to Harvard. I'm not even sure if Michael want to go to college right away. He doesn't seem very sure about what he really, really wants to do. He does not know. And that's okay. That's okay. It just seemed like the way Keke was looking when he was saying he really didn't know, it seemed like Keke was looking at him like, okay, all right. So that's Micah. All right, storm is still going. It is still, it has barricaded Nova and Calvin in, and Jacob and Charley in, and Micah and his friends in. Aunt Vi and Hollywood just get in the door for the full bottom fall out. Now, it was raining the whole time, but the bottom hadn't really fallen out yet. Roads are flooded. They get in the house. He get 2 packages off the porch. Come inside. There's some stuff he done ordered for his motorcycle. And Aunt Vi let him know, I hope that's for you. Because I ain't getting on no motorcycle. He was like, come on, baby. I want you to get on the motorcycle. With the wind in your face and your arms around my waist, baby. I think you'll really like it. She was like, well, you thought wrong. Oh, come on, baby. You ain't no fun. And she said, I ain't no fun. Now, Vi, you know I didn't mean it like that. Nope. Alexa, play Vi's sexy playlist. Okay? And the music come on and Vi get over there to Hollywood. She turned around and she give it to him. No fun, huh? He was like, when I had said you wasn't, I was, he was starting to, yeah, that's that little man in the boat. He was, okay. Aunt Vi opened that top up and was like, oh, I said, oh, somebody's getting blackberry cobbler tonight. In the tub, candles lit. Him and Vi have gone in there, and she let him know, now you wants to ride motorcycles, but I'm gonna show you how what Vi rides, okay? And now she got to put him in the tub and get his mind right, okay? Because she done blew it all the way off. She washing his back and talking to him. I remember my mama used to do my daddy like that. When he come home from work, they talk about everything that's going on. Bills, children, the next 3 weeks, if she was traveling, what he needed to do, all of this stuff. All of this took place in the bathroom. Well, Hollywood and Vi, they talking, and he's talking about, and she mentions about how men make fun of women when they do their spa treatments, but you can see he likes it. He was like, oh, you don't get no argument from me. You don't get no argument from me. I likes all the finer things that you give me, baby. And, you know, he wants to talk about his men's club and what to call it. He names it several things, you know, bad feet. Bad feet and support group. Vi talks to him and helps him whittle it down, and he decides to call it the real spot. Okay, it's where the men come together and they keep it real. They get real about some things, about some feelings. It's a great moment. I'm glad to see Hollywood and Vi really kind of trying to get back to themselves. I see in the preview for next week, or the next 2 episodes, which are the last 2 episodes, Vi is going to end up going over to see Jimmy Dale, which is what y'all know I want. I feel like if you look that thing in his face and let that thing know that it don't have no power over you, it will do wonders for your psyche. So this is a good moment. It's good to see Vi and Hollywood getting back to where they were. A place of loving and caring and support, right? But okay, so let's talk about Ralph, Angel, and Darla. This is a bit of a difficult conversation for me because you guys know I root for Darla. A lot of the other people I watch, they don't really stand for Darla because of their own personal experiences with drug addicts. And, you know, I mean, Darla's got her ways. She can move funny sometimes. But y'all know I love Blue. And if it is going to be better for Blue for us to keep Darla close, I don't see any reason that we shouldn't do that. So I root for Darla because I'm rooting for Blue, right? Okay? Y'all get what I'm saying? But this episode, man, Darla kind of rubbed me the wrong way. When we first see Ralph, Angel, it's daytime. It hadn't started raining yet. And he has taken Blue over to Disha's house to have a play date with Joie. And this is the first time they've seen each other in a couple of weeks. And it's awkward. It's weird. All right. So when Joie and Blue go outside, it's a moment where Disha had given him a cool glass of homemade lemonade, fresh squeezed, you know, lemonade. And the kids bust through and she stops them and has Joie thank Mr. Bordelon, say hello to Mr. Bordelon, ask him how he doing, and thank him for bringing Blue over. Okay, this is how you rear children. Okay, all along the way you got to pull their coattail. Okay, you got to slow them down. Okay, so they remember to do the things that are important. All right. It's a good moment. He apologizes for missing their date. Apparently the night that Darla relapsed, and he went over there at Aunt Vi's behest, was a night that they were supposed to get together. And basically he didn't answer and he didn't show up. And she said, well, I wouldn't have talked to you if it had not have been for Blue wanting to have a play date. If it wasn't for this play date, I still wouldn't have got you on the phone. I still wouldn't have saw you. You know, and he's like, yeah, I know. And she was like, well, what's going on? Is everything okay? Are you all right? Is there anything I should know? It's complicated. So, you know, that sister ain't just got single. She know the routine. You know, we've all seen it at least once or twice in our dating lives. Okay, it's complicated. I'm finna go in here and fix the kids some snacks. All right, and she leaves him standing there. Now, evidently, he goes on home, and he comes back later on in the evening, after it started raining real good. He makes his way over to pick up Blue, of course. And he's sitting at the counter in the kitchen, and she's wiping it down and getting some stuff together. She done got the kids all in the house and getting them dried off and getting their clothes changed and getting them, you know, Blue will be ready in a minute. And I hope you didn't get too wet out there working in your field. Well, turns out he hadn't been to the field. He didn't do no working in the yard. Okay. So, he wants to have a talk with her. All right. My son's mother, Darla, she had a relapse. And I've been going over there to see about it for the last 2 weeks. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks since Darla relapsed. Okay. And I've been going over there every day to see about her, and I just didn't know how this would affect me. And she bleed, I bleed. I feel the pain that she feels. I never, knew that I would feel this way. And she makes her way. She said, well, it's good that she's getting help. It's good that, she has you. It's good for Blue too. That she's recovering. She's getting help. And she wants help. And he was like, yeah. And basically he just tells her, I'm in love with Darla. I'm in love with Darla. I feel like I need to tell you this because I'm in love with her. And she says, you know what you just said was the absolutely beautiful. And it is what every woman deserves to hear. What any woman would love to hear. She said, but I will not play second fiddle. Okay. He said, oh, then you shouldn't play second fiddle. You deserve better. She said, oh, I know I deserve better. But I wish the best for you. I wish the best for Darla. And I wish the best for Blue. Okay. And he's feeling a type of way. He didn't want to hurt Deisha. He told her what a beautiful woman she was. Well put together. Any man would be lucky to have her, so on and so forth. But it's all, so what? I'm not the woman that you're saying I love you to. These kind words aren't for me. They're for someone else. So all that you talking about is a moot point. I can see the look on her face. I already know because I've been there a million times. That's neither here nor there. I know. I'm fine as hell. I get it. I understand. I'm fine. I'm beautiful. I'm intelligent, smart, and funny. But you don't love me. You love her. You love the broken doll. Okay? You got a perfectly good doll here, but you love the broken doll. Okay? So, Ralph Angel leave there. Pouring, storming, raining. I don't know what he does with Blue because ain't Vi around here at the hot tub with Hollywood. What you do with Blue? Because Darla refusing to see Blue. Now Blue been asking about his mama, and Hollywood has told Blue that she was sick and she went to spend some time with her parents. Okay, so y'all still lying to Blue. Yeah. This might be a lot of the reasons why he acting so babyish. A lot. Y'all not being honest with this little boy. Darla come to the door. He done brought some soup. And he just checking on her, just seeing how she doing. And she was like, you didn't have to do this. He was like, I know I didn't. I just want to make sure you eat. I want to make sure you find what I've been working my steps. First of all, she still looks high. I just don't understand that. She took a few days off of work, fine, but you still look high. Now, from what I understand, you took a sip, you took a drink. You drank, not when she took more than a sip, she drank quite a bit. Okay, so that is how she fell into relapse. But why do you still look high? Why do you look high? Why do you look drunk still? Why are you still looking so disheveled? Why are we dealing with these shoulders that are down, and you're making yourself seem so small and so pitiful? You called your sponsor. You're talking to your sponsor. I just don't understand why you don't look fresh. Now you think back to Deisha in that kitchen. She looked so strong and so confident. The way the light jumped out of her skin. Whew, she a fine girl anyway. She fine anyway. Y'all see when she went back around that counter into the kitchen? Oh, she's fine. She obviously takes good care of herself. Her skin flawless. Flawless. She looked good. Every time he saw her that day, she looked good. Then you got Darla. She's just as fragile. Well, this is what he told Deisha. He told Deisha that he wanted to protect her. He felt the need to protect her. She was hurt. He was hurt. She's broken. He's broken. All right? Except, Ralph Angel, you don't look as fragile. Now, when he was sitting in the kitchen talking to Deisha, he did kind of seem as though he was confused by the whole thing himself. But this is what he was doing. This is what he was feeling. And this is what he was going to go with. Now you here with Darla, and you in this haze, this weird web of fragility and brokenness and what appears to be mealy mouth behavior, and it is driving me nuts because Ralph Angel has stood this season as a pillar. He has stood strong, and he's never seemed as weak as he does when he take that soup over to Darla. Is it just me? Y'all tell me. Y'all let me know. Is it just me? Is it just me, or did they both seem excruciatingly small in this moment? Okay, so you're working your steps. You're trying to keep busy. You're trying to stay, you're doing your affirmations. You're talking to your sponsor. All of this. You're taking some time off work. Why do you still look high? Why? I don't understand why they writing this character like this. It's pissing me off. It really is pissing me off. Now, he mentions that Blue is asking about her. I'm not ready to see him now. I'm not ready to, and Ralph Angel get that steely jaw. He do. He looking straight ahead. That bothers him. But do he say something about it? Nope. What Darla want to talk about is the two of them. The soup is good. The soup is great. They sitting on the couch. She give him a hug. Thank you so much for all you've done. He is pissed off with how she was violated. He want to get his hand on them two jokers that violated her. And he's consoling her. And she says to him, you think things could go back to the way they were? Like we were? And he, although he told Deisha one thing, he not sure yet if he want to tell her. Okay, for some reason, it didn't just spring right out of his mouth, So she was like, do you? She look away. She looked back. You got guts for this. You don't have the guts to sit down and talk with Blue. Ralph Angel brings you light and help and joy, and he's been a major support. But Blue can't support you. Blue can't be a comfort to you. Blue can't be a source, a reminder that you need to stay clean, that you need to stay whole. This what we doing. This what we talking about. Us being together, going back to the way we were, being a family like we were. It's starting to make me feel weird about you, Darla. It does. The fact that you won't see Blue is a problem for me. It's a major, major problem, because Blue should be the anchor that keeps you out of the tossing and turning and the storm of alcohol and drugs. Blue should be that anchor, and your responsibility to him. But it seems like what you're working on is the fact that Ralph Angel has been coming over for the last 2 weeks and tending to you and giving you attention and seeing about you, okay? And you have decided that this is the most important thing to your sobriety, is Ralph Angel must be present for me to be sober. But what about Blue? Y'all finna just, if he says yes, then you want to pick up and just go back to being mommy to Blue and being Ralph Angel's feet. It's all a fantasy. It's all a fantasy. It is. You've got to be clean and sober for you. Where is her parents? I forget who said that in the comments last week. Where's her family? Ralph Angel is it? Ralph Angel said those feelings he had for her never left. What? When she came around there and you and Deisha was sitting on the porch, you treated her like, what is you doing here? I did not call you. I thank you very much, Darla. I say, good day, ma'am. That's how you treated her. Now, this is when you thought she was clearly sober. You didn't want her sober, but you want her broken. You want her when she in fragile. Like, I just don't understand this. It's not making sense to me. It's not making sense to me that in 2 weeks, Ralph Angel has decided that Darla is the love of his life, and I'm not buying into it because the characters aren't making me buy into it. All right, this scraggly, mealy mouth, mousy weighted Darla is carrying herself. It makes me suspect her. It makes me feel like I did the episodes coming up to when she killed the original Kenya. And y'all know I took that hard. She is not confident. She is jealous-hearted. She is envious. She is spiteful. These are the signals I'm getting from her, and it's pissing me off because y'all know I root for Darla. Y'all know I root for Darla. I don't know how I feel about a Darla and Ralph Angel reconnect, because everything we've seen up until this point has said that Ralph Angel was able to move on. And when you come together in this type of way, if her being fragile is what tethers you to her, is what's so alluring to you about Darla, then she must always be fragile. She must always be broken in order for you to feel attracted to her, in order for you to feel connected with her. When Darla is strong, are you not going to like her the same anymore? Is she not going to be as appealing? I'm just asking. Okay? So that's Darla and that's Ralph Angel, and I'm a little teed off about that whole situation. I don't like the way Ava is doing Darla's character. It is kind of teeing me off a little bit, but I'm going to go with what I was given. Right now, I'm suspect of Darla. That's just what it is. Mainly because she won't see blue. All right? So, the show ends with Charley standing in her living room, and she is on the phone with Nova, and it turns out that the town hall meeting was canceled. It was canceled by Jacob Boudreaux, and he is doing a press conference, and he's talking about the unfair and unjust pricing in the milling industry, how African Americans have been charged and priced differently from other people, Caucasians, namely Caucasian farmers. It's unjust and it's unfair. And the other reason that he canceled the town hall is because he found out that his big mama, okay, his great grandmama was half black. She's a black woman, is what he said, and she's kin to the Borderlones. Snapshot, 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 snapshot. Nova's like, wow, how did you get him to do that? Was that smart? How does he know? You showed him? And Charlie's like, yeah. Well, won't people want to vote? Won't this make people sorry for him? And she lets him know, no, listen, the white people gonna be mad. The racists out there gonna be mad that he part black. And the black people gonna think he pandering. It's just enough for her to eke it out in the polls. I was like, oh, Charlie, you have so much faith. I mean, I don't know if she genuinely considered or thought that she was going to be able to turn the heart of a person who is steeped in racism and prejudice and that old South thinking. You know, if you were just able to pull on his heartstrings and he's just gonna now be your puppet master. I don't know if she feels like her beauty is able to pull this off with Jacob Boudreaux. I don't know how she gonna feel when she realized this right here could backfire on you. She's taking a chance with it, but at the same time, I'm like, Charlie, I wish y'all would just go over there with some bats and bricks and 2x4s and lay waste to them Boudreaux. I really wish you would. But we're going to play chess and see how it goes. You guys tell me what you think of this episode. That is it for Queen Sugar. Tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, mwah, mwah. I holla.